Hello word, I'm Alex, and welcome to your daily dose of English vocabulary. Today's word is beg, a B2 level verb, meaning to ask earnestly. To beg is to plead, implore, or request something urgently and often humbly. It suggests a strong desire and sometimes a desperate need. Think of it as asking with more intensity than a simple request. We use beg when someone is in a position of weakness or when the matter is very important to them. For example, a stray dog might beg for food. Now, let's explore some synonyms. A close synonym is implore. You might implore someone to reconsider their decision. For instance, I implore you, please don't go. Another synonym is plead. To plead means to make an emotional appeal. Consider this sentence, she pleaded with him to stay. A further synonym is entreat, which is a more formal way of saying beg. I entreat you to help us in this matter. These synonyms highlight the earnest and urgent nature of the request. Now, let's consider antonyms, words with opposite meanings. An antonym for beg is demand. To demand is to request something forcefully and authoritatively, the opposite of humbly asking. For example, the manager demanded an explanation for the mistake. Another antonym is refuse. To refuse is to decline or reject a request. She refused to give him any money. A further antonym is command. To command implies authority and control. The general commanded his troops to advance. These antonyms highlight the contrast between humble requests and forceful actions. How can you use beg in everyday life? Well, you might say I beg your pardon as a polite way of apologizing for interrupting someone. You could also say I beg to differ as a respectful way of disagreeing. The phrase I beg you is often used for emphasis when making a strong request. For example, I beg you, please listen to me. Let's look at some more examples in sentences. He begged his parents to let him go to the party. The homeless man begged for spare change on the street. She begged forgiveness for her mistake. They begged the teacher for an extension on the deadline. I begged to report that the mission was successful. Here are some phrases incorporating the word beg. To beg the question refers to assuming the conclusion in an argument. For instance, saying that ghosts exist because you've seen them begs the question of whether what you saw was actually a ghost. You might say someone is begging for trouble if they are acting recklessly or provocatively. Example, he's begging for trouble driving that fast. You might hear someone say they are down on their knees begging to emphasize the desperation of their request. Another phrase is I beg to inform you, a polite way of delivering news. I beg to inform you that your application has been accepted. So, today we learned that beg is a B2 level verb meaning to ask earnestly. We explored synonyms like implore, plead, and entreat, and antonyms like demand, refuse, and command. We also discussed how beg is used in everyday conversation and common expressions. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover our show. Now, for your homework, create your own sentence using the word beg and share it as a comment under this video. I look forward to reading them.